Hello everybody, this is Juntes. Today we're going to be taking a look at some really cool items. So sit back and enjoy the ride, cause some of these items just have some really cool and interesting story to them, and I hope that this video can bring some new information to you as well. Okay, so coming up first are some Mercer-gen weapons that can also be used for specific Smiter Paladin builds for PvP. The first one has some really crazy max damage for Fool's weapon. I don't think I've seen higher than this one, almost 1.1k damage for Fools. That's absolutely insane. And then the other one has just, no Fools but some attack rating and then a lot of enhanced damage, which obviously makes it for a Mercer-gen weapon to reach. Well, I actually think with this weapon you could reach maybe 18k max damage on your Act 2 mercenary with a Might Aura, which is absolutely insane considering something like a well-rolled Infinity doesn't even reach 10k with a Fortitude. So yeah, I am not that interested in the Beastwood Warpike. I would more love this one low barb warpike. This one I would love to have just to see how high of amount of damage you can get on an Act 2 Mercenary with Might Aura. Now then, time for some PvP focus, which is mainly what people use these insane items for. So first up we have the infamous Bitter Needle Grand Matron Bow. So for a lot of those who are not into PvP, such as myself, we probably don't understand why people will want to buy these items, because some stuff like Mind Force or Fate Runeward exist even back in 2005. Basically, there are leaks in PvP where Mind Force and Fate are not allowed, so you have to get these insane enhanced damaged Fool's weapons. And back in 2005 this was the highest roll spawned Grand Matron Bow, near perfect stats. And the price, you ask? Well, this is apparently also the actual topic where it was traded in. 704 free 2020 small charms. Equivalent price back then about 74,000 FG. I have no idea how this item went that high, cause nowadays this weapon is not that insane, but apparently this was the highest rolled Grand Matron Bow back then, so there wasn't a better one on the market back then. So yeah, it's just really insane to see. So next up is a diadem. A lot of these diadems are also very good for PvM, but I wanted to show one that is definitely more for PvP. Right off the bat you will notice that it doesn't have 30% faster one roll, but that doesn't cripple it. I'm just gonna assume that the duels in them, which are by the way matching, very nice. The duels are 40-50, so they increase the attack speed by 15% each to a total of 30, and then they give 80% enhanced damage, which means that the helm rolls with 2 to paladin skills, 20% faster cast rate, about 40% enhanced damage, 19 strength, 55 life. Very strong for PvPers that are Smiter or even just Hammer Paladins, maybe some variation of an FO Paladin, which uses both Smite and Fist of Heavens in PvP. But yeah, I just wanted to show this one because this is a very cool PvP item that are definitely all about PvP. Next up are 08 items. These are from the past, way back when the game has not even been patched up to the current patch that is 1.14. These items can no longer spawn, but they still exist even as a perm version. So the way 08 items worked, or even later items, was that it spawned in a current patch and then it was patched later to not spawn. So if people still had items from that patch, they technically could just move on to the next patch and they would keep the item without any interference, such as the item going away or whatever. Some of the most common items are Valkyrie Wing and Bogtal Rasha. I'm not really sure if these are all 08 items. Stuff like Bug Belt exists on Europe non-leather, We have some really insane items like an occultist ring, and yeah, all sorts of insane items that have been patched up throughout the years of the game. But the two most common are probably just Valkyrie Wing and Bog Talvasia. Just look at this Valkyrie Ring. It has so many stats, it's almost insane. And then you can even socket it. It's just so good. And you know, even the looks are kind of cool. I like winged helm, so it looks good on an Amazon and whatnot. And then we come to Bog Talvasia. 2 to all skills. Run, walk, all resist, damage reduction at 25%. This is an amazing item for, say, Smiter PvPers, Hammer Paladins, even just sorceresses. But that damage reduction was mostly for, you know, really high-end PvPers that wanted something unique. I still think there are a few of these left in the game, Bog Talvasias, at least in Europe non-ladder, that are perm, but it's gonna cost you a lot to get them. Another really cool item from 08 is Highlord's Wrath Amulet. So from just the looks of it, it seems like a normal Highlord's Wrath Amulet if you remember the stats. I can just quickly tell the differences. This one comes with no increased attack speed, but it has 1 more instead, which makes it pretty crap for many builds that utilize Highlord's Wrath nowadays, but the 1 more is pretty unique for gear. I think it's only Cat Eye Amulet that actually spawns with a high amount of faster 1 more. Then it also comes with lightning damage, just a little less but higher minimum. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. Not much else changed except for just the faster 1 more, which is very cool to see on an amulet, where you can probably see this as very good for PvP builds. And I think that is also why the price is this high, because one thing is it's extremely rare, at least in Europe non-ladder, but I think if you actually have a perm one, you can verify with gold blocks and everything, you can probably easily get 50,000 FG, maybe even more. Okay, time for some fools. What are fools? Well, that's basically just the name for the items we give to kinda name the mod it spawns with. Fools are pretty much only for PvPers nowadays due to stuff like Grief, Last Wish, etc. existing. Back in the days, they were however the best weapons that you could get in the game by far. So this is pre-rune mode days, 1.11, 1.10 and whatnot. Back then fools were the best weapons that you could get, but they were extremely rare. Something like 1 to a million chance to get some really insane ones. That is also why it's mostly just people nowadays who are botting who are actually finding these items. So first up is this faceplate. This would have been used for PvPers, such as a Smiter Paladin or even a Seal Paladin using Fanatismo Aura. The really important part with this one is that it comes with 40% increased attack speed, which means that you could actually reach a decent attack speed breakpoint with a Fool's Weapon, which can be hard. Another cool thing is also that it spawns with 4 minimum damage and 14 to strength. It just increases the overall damage a little bit more. But yeah, just look at this beauty. Requires level 61, 15 strength to wear, and 126 dexterity. Like, it's just so nice. It can be used for so many specific situations. Yeah, just a really overall very cool faceplate, and definitely one of the highest damage that I've seen from a one-handed. And now for something really cool for the assassins out there. Fool's Feast weapons are definitely something that can be utilized even in today in standard PvP games. Look at the stats on this one, so high enhanced damage, attack rating, skillers that are even very good for PvP, such as Mind Blast, an amazing one. I'm pretty sure there are better ones out there, so let me know if you have seen anything better than this one. It's always very cool to see these feast weapons just because they can actually be used today in PvP if you really want to get the ultimate PvP assassin gear. And then here at the end I just wanted to show this fun little knife. Obviously it's not very good, it doesn't have sockets, and yeah, it's overall just a knife, but the attack speed on this is absolutely insane. If you could utilize the attack speed in the build, that's pretty cool. This Fools reminds me of a Fool that I had, but I could never really sell because the only people who buy fools are the ones that also want the best rolled ones, and this would just be one of those that are really hard to sell, even if it's not bad. Next up are some of my favorites, such as tri-wrist boots and similar. These items are maybe not expensive or very cool for a lot of people, but I just really like them. So I have to say that I'm really in love with tri-wrists. I actually have a decent pair on my Yavason, which I'm very happy about. But the fun thing is, even if you got a really insane roll like the realm's best whatever, they wouldn't be that expensive. I mean, it's not like a full sweep or anything, but they just fit so many builds. Just take a look at the boots that I found here. 10% faster one walk, dexterity, mana. I could see totally this being used on a bow Amazon or something that really utilized mana in some way. I just really love boots like these ones, they are so cool. And then next up are just some 24% faster hit recovery builds. There are so many of these. They're kind of boring, but I think they are pretty good for PvPers and stuff like that, smiters or whatever. I also like tri-wrist builds. I actually have a 24% faster hit recovery tri-wrist build on my furry druid, which I use to very good use right now. And yeah, I just really like these items. They're not very expensive or that cool, but they just fit so many builds. And the last item I will show in my favorite section are these gloves here. Look at the defense. They just scream barb versus barb PvP gear. Fire resist, cold resist, 15 dexterity, 15 strength. They're absolutely amazing. I'm not really sure what the maximum resist bonus would be, but it's probably only missing 1% enhanced defense to be perfect. And honestly, these are some of the best gloves currently that I have ever seen, maybe even the one best barb versus barb gloves. So yeah, for PvPers out there, I'm pretty sure you're drooling right now over these gloves, cause they're just so cool. Obviously, if you want to see some other gloves like Crushing Blow, 15 Strain, 15 Dexterity, +2 Java skills, stuff like that, Knockback, they also exist. But I just wanted to show this one because this is definitely a very cool item for PvPers. Okay, time for some Twink PvP. I hope I'm not boring too many of you PvM people out there. But this is for Twinks who play at certain brackets such as level 10 to level 19 and so forth. So there are really only few people who are playing Twink, which also means there are even less people farming the items. That just makes them ever so more expensive. I can show two builds here at the start. I'm not really sure if they're that expensive or that good, but the first build here at level 3 I just thought was too fun. It is pretty much perfect roll. I have never seen such a good level 3 build myself, even close to it. I think it only misses a few enhanced defense to have maximum rolls possible for level 3 build. Absolutely insane find. I wonder who got it. And then the other one is for level 18 Twink. Look at that resistance. It even comes with replenished life and a high amount of life. Absolutely amazing roll. Just too bad the defense is not that good even for such a high enhanced defense build. But yeah, I'm not really sure if these items are that good because there's just so many to choose from. And then here at the end I just wanted to show a cool caster ring and an Amazon circle for twinking. Now the ring is not that expensive or that gratis I suppose, but I just really like it. It comes with lightning resist and fire resistance, which is very cool. Then it has almost 40 life and almost 75 to 80 mana, which I think is like the maximum roll for a ring to get, and almost 20 strength. Obviously if this had more life, more mana, it would have been better, but yeah, I just really like this ring. And then obviously I have to show this absolutely insane Amazon circle which I found on the trophy room. 1 to Amazon skills, which is always very good for that level. 30% faster one roll, 2 sockets, enhanced damage, it just keeps on and on and on and on. This helm is absolutely insane. It almost just makes me smile to look at the stats. Imagine having this helm at level 29 when you are playing the game normally. This helm could pretty much carry you through normal mode. Okay, time for a conclusion for the video. First of all, thank you for watching. It took quite a while to make this one, but I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely had some fun actually experiencing and learning about the history of Diablo 2 through items. There's just been so many good stories for these really insane fooled items and whatnot we see in the video. So we can start with the Mercer-Gen weapons first. That is actually one that intrigued me pretty much. Imagine going to almost 20k maximum damage on a Mercer-Gen. That would have been pretty fun to experience. But I don't really think I could afford one ever, so yeah, I'll just leave that as a dream. And then we can take a bit of PvP. Now I really enjoyed learning about the highest sold items in Diablo 2. There's not a lot of information on the internet about it, but I was able to dig up a few things. And the most common one Google found was Bitter Needle Grand Matron Bow, which I showed off in the start of the video. What an amazing bow, just wow. And then we had some fun again with some PvPers and whatnot. Yeah, certain PvP items are just too expensive for what they really do, but they fill a niche and that is why they cost so much. And then we took a look at some 08 items. Now, I have definitely used these before in the videos, at least if you consider bug build, and people hate them. They absolutely hate these bugged items, and I kinda agree. It is a bit shitty to use them, but yeah, they only come on non-letter nowadays, so US, West non-letter, Europe non-letter, whatever realm you play on. And then also just kind of fun to know about these 08 items that have a crazy value, such as Hylot's Wrath Amulet. And then I always so intrigued with these fools, especially fools that can actually be used for pretty, standard gameplay such as PvP. Sadly, fools are not very good for, say, a general paladin or barbarian build, but damn, they are very good on assassins, so it's very nice to see that fools can actually be used very handsomely on an assassin build, even for PvM. And then obviously also we took a look at fun little knife, which I liked a lot, just because these sort of fools weapons here, they are so hard to spawn, but they're not very good at all, so it wouldn't sell a lot. And then I also want to cover a bit of the twinking fun. Yeah, a lot of people might not care for that, but I kinda like twinking. I like that it's a thing at least. But the items can be so hard to get because obviously nobody farms low level items. That's just kinda says itself. So yeah, very cool that people are able to even get these items. And then a few favorites such as the insane Barb vs Barb PvP gloves. And yeah, I think that pretty much rounds it up. Again, thank you for watching. I was having a lot of fun making this one and I hope you enjoyed it. As always, thank you for watching and have a good one.